Hey, Skull Nation! SkullDirt here. My wife, Monica. And how you guys doing? So this video is, one of many introductory videos that we've done. And, we just want to like catch you guys up and, tell you how it's been over the last year. Since we started SkullDirt, where we're going, some of our goals, and some of the things behind SkullDirt and how it started, and the AI tool and Photoshop stuff that I'm using to create these awesome designs.
And I guess my piece in the background and, how I'm able to support this and how we're doing it together and making it a part of our family and where we plan on going from here. And this new piece that we've just gotten into on Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon. And we're very, very excited about our launch of Patreon. And But recently, we've really been focusing in on the business aspect of it and taking it to a more legitimate level. Because over the last year, it's been about creating, designing, building the website, building some of the social media presence like TikTok and Facebook and some Instagram. I probably do TikTok more than, I think we both do TikTok more than we do Instagram.
It feels more accessible. It feels easier to communicate out with people.
Not saying that I don't want to put more focus on Instagram, because I do. TikTok has definitely been a huge focus of just sharing the content, sharing the merch, and getting it out there. When we started this, we had done some research and really kind of looked into starting an online business, and my wife even tried the drop shipping, and that was kind of a bust. The drop shipping is one of those things you're very dependent on.
It's hyped up. It's a lot of advertising. A lot of people are advertising it, and there's more money in hyping up kind of the mass marketing. It almost feels like MLM based. Some people may have success with it. I haven't seen it personally. I see more people making money off of attracting more people to the site through their link. It just didn't seem what it was marketed as.
And I think a lot of people are getting scammed through drop shipping.
Oh, yeah.
And on both ends, people starting drop shipping businesses and people trying to purchase from people that have drop shipping business. I personally have been scammed.
Affiliate marketing is it's hit or miss, but it's also, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is.
Yeah, it usually is.
And those make it out like it does everything for you, and you'll just make all this money, and it'll be simple. I mean, if it's that simple, why does it need you?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So yeah.
So starting getting into something that we felt would be very legitimate, reliable,
our own,
and our own, and back to the research, and the things that we learned about starting an online business was finding a passion, finding a niche, and staying with it. And I really think that we did that when we started SkullDirt.com, and we both have a long history of loving skulls, as a lot of people love skulls. I have skull tattoos. I've always worn skull type apparel,
Clothes.
and
Same.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
One of the
so
original things that connected us.
and I see this huge skull community online. People love skulls, and
We all have them.
yeah.
You know?
Which, hey, one of my big slogans, and I want to, I just want to say this. If you're watching this video, as always, congratulations to another day above ground. Because we're all just skulls, and we're all going to end up in the dirt, and and that's the reality of it. And that's a huge inspiration behind the name SkullDirt, and the fact that it was available as a URL, and it's a good, clean, short URL, SkullDirt, and so it just kind of it made sense, and it fell to us.
Yeah.
And but recently, over the last year, I've created a lot of content, we're using a combination of AI and Photoshop, and our AI preference for all of our creations is Night Cafe. And Night Cafe has continued to evolve its platform in many different ways, and it's really gotten pretty sophisticated and very accurate in content creation or digital creation or image creation. And so that's what we're using for all our creations, and it's been able to give me a lot of really great stuff, and a lot of unique, really unique skull designs, because everything I design on there is the idea of skulls. And these, we've focused in on some, should I say, genres or
specific themes,
and those themes have been the cyberpunk and the steampunk and the candy skulls, and we also do a series of what we call skull wisdom, which is a combination of skulls and mandalas, with inspirational quotes. And we're putting all these designs on really great product using a US based company for our print on demand. And they're a great company. They have numerous locations in the United States, and have some outside the some international, and the quality of their t-shirts, like the Bellas and the very quality t-shirts, and we decided to, of course, go with all premium, their premium products, their premium shirts.
And their ability to work with small business too. I mean, their accessibility, their how much they allow you to kind of make it your own, and how they really work with you on kind of supporting your business. It's a great company.
And they're very integrative. I mean, they integrate right into Shopify. They integrate into I believe Walmart and Amazon, and
there's just a lot of big business that uses them.
They have they
advertise.
They have a lot of integration, and so it's very seamless and easy to use. The platform that we're using is Printful, and their design platform is amazing. We're able to take these designs and put them on shirts and mugs, and cards and calendars and backpacks and
you name it, pretty much. They have a lot. They have everything. And it's fun. I mean, and you also have mock-ups, and I mean, it makes it really easy to just put it on a website and showcase your own product.
Yeah, and be able to add print, be able to add titles and print and word art to the designs through Printful. So it's a very advanced editing platform for a print company. What they've done, I think, is impressive, and the best that I've seen out there. you know,
sure.
because we've tried, you know, we've looked in like Custom Cat and some of these other print on demand platforms, and we think that
They're limited. I mean, you know.
yeah, there's a lot of limitations.
Yeah,
Print,
and
you know,
can be a bit high priced or just not kind of work as well.
mm-hmm.
You have to source your own photos for some of them,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I don't know. Yeah, Printful just seems a lot more accessible, inviting.
Yeah, and Printful's got
Make more sense.
an amazing library
Affordable.
of clip art that's really great for doing things like our greeting cards, and that, you know, yeah. So it's you know
Even that, yeah.
it's been huge for us.
Journals,
Yeah.
notebooks too. I mean, yeah, it's kind of limitless. You know, it's like you can dream it up, you can make it on there.
But you know, because you know it's been a year since we started SkullDirt, and you know, I wouldn't say that, you know, we're hugely successful or anything yet. You know, these things take time. You know, so,
Absolutely.
you know, and
Gotta stick it
years,
out.
and you know, and you can spend thousands of dollars trying to build it. And to be honest with you, we've approached it very organically, without really putting a lot of money into this. You know, plus we work. You know, so it's. You know, we've tried to stay employed and
Put the
not
time and effort ourselves
and not just go 100%.
and learn all the software and whatnot.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, it takes some getting used to, some learning, some application, some error. You know, trial and error.
But I'm so proud of us for not giving up, and here we are, more than a year later, now that we launched SkullDirt.com. And you know, we're still doing it, and you know, we're not at all discouraged in our process. And you know, we just, like I said, we mentioned Patreon. Did we
Right,
mention?
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
newest
So
thing.
yeah, so we just started our Patreon page, and you know, doing Patreon 6 months ago, no, wouldn't have been a good idea. Definitely not in the beginning. Would not have been a good idea. But now that we have a huge library of designs, we think, you know, Patreon is the perfect platform to kind of take this to another level,
To the next level, to
you
show
know,
showcase the art.
yeah,
More
showcase
so.
the art. You know,
You know, and I wanted a way to do that. I mean, we can put them on T-shirts and really cool things all day, but it doesn't give you the ability to showcase the art and how much of it there is, and the really, really cool things that, you know, maybe doesn't fit into a genre, but it's really beautiful work. And what it takes from an artist perspective, I mean, he's quite the artist, and how he's able to see and play with that, you know, with Night Cafe, and really get some amazing work. And this is the best way. I mean, it's the coolest thing, you know, we've found so far, to be able to showcase that and really share it, you know, just as art, and be able to connect with our community and do a little bit more on that level as well, to have that connection.
So Patreon, yeah. So here's what's going on with our Patreon, and what we're doing with it, and why we think it's so cool. Because what we want to do with all this art that we've created, is make it almost like an open source to others. You know, creating AI art is it's not really super easy. I mean, it's easy, but it's not super easy. You know,
Easy for the right mind.
You know, you've got to be creative, and you have to kind of know the direction you're going, and really know what you want, and be willing to get a lot of crap out of it, you know, to get the good pieces.
Right.
You know, and that costs money. You know, it costs money if, you know, I mean, to get these images created, you know, and if the image doesn't come out, I mean, it's well, it's a complete waste.
You have to have patience, understand the ebb and the flow, and then just work with it, kind of vibe with it until you really get your your own personal niche going.
And sometimes, I've created 5-10 images and still not got what I wanted, and only the best of what I've created has come out into SkullDirt.com. And there's actually, a lot of it that's really great, that may or may not end up on some of the t-shirts and hoodies and stuff that we put on the website.
Because it might not fit the theme, but it's still amazing art.
Yeah, it is.
And it took some effort to create, and it's beautiful to be able to showcase that just as what it is.
And some of that art might work better for other people. And that's the cool thing about Patreon, is that we're going to be able to provide some of that artwork to other creators and even print-on-demand businesses. People who want to start their own print-on-demand. We want to,
or even if you just want a cool background.
Just a cool background. So what we've done is opened ourselves up on Patreon, and we're going to be offering some of this artwork that we spent the last year creating on Patreon to download digital copies, and all the work that you can download on print on Patreon is 100%
high resolution, quality,
72 PPI, and we're talking about high quality images, very large images, large enough to to put on posters and t-shirts, and
do whatever you want with it.
Really do whatever you want
that.
with it, on as far as and get a good good quality image, of course. And also Patreon is a way to support us, for people that just want to support us on a regular level, because Patreon has kind of this membership kind of thing, and you can become a paid member and pay a small amount of money monthly, and
we'll supply you with digital
and in
art.
that we will
help us.
send you digital copies of some really cool stuff. And we've started with our calendar candy skull calendar
quarter century calendar.
Quarter century calendar. And I put a lot of work in designing these great images for the calendar. In fact, did
a little collaborating together on that, on ideas. But he most definitely created the most wicked art I've seen on a calendar, the most unique, and they all speak to the month. But this specific year, in fact, is the only one I've ever seen, will ever see in my lifetime, the exact quarter century of the the 2000s.
Yeah, so
the beginning, and it's a pretty poignant year, and then a presidential inauguration on top of that.
And we think we think this calendar is fairly unique as a collector's piece, and I put it deserved some really great artwork and designs. And because we're New Mexican, we're from New Mexico, and Day of the Dead and candy skulls are a big thing here, and we have the Dia
de los Muertos
parade,
festival,
parade every year, and that's a big thing for New Mexico and Mexico. It's and really something celebrated worldwide.
And all year.
It's
a holiday, but you see it everywhere all year long.
Yeah, so
there's even dolls created, collectors for this specific event. So it's beautifully done. Really cool stuff
this is the small version. There are 2 sizes on the website, and it's really high quality. It's got the
and strong.
It's very strong. It's not the the paper
flimsy
little hole that you try and hang a calendar and it rips through, and then you can't hang the calendar anymore. So
right, and
this calendar is going to survive
gotta
the
support.
test for the year. And man, you want to talk about high quality,
glossy
card paper. You know, this is
thick.
This is not a cheap calendar. By no means. It is a high quality calendar, and you know, for every month we've designed a great image throughout the calendar of unique candy skulls. You know, and one of my favorites, the you know, February Valentine, and
Happy Valentine's skull.
And of course, you know, another one of my favorites, being a bit Irish myself. The leprechaun, candy skull leprechaun. Have you ever seen a candy skull leprechaun? You have now, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, and then you know, they just keep going. You know, these really great designs, and of course, you know, the holiday ones were my favorite. You know, back to school. You know,
kids know all about that.
Back to school calendar, you know,
Parents.
a piece in, you know, for August, and then going on. You know, really loved, you know, September.
This is my favorite right here.
Yeah,
this is my month.
Yeah,
but I just think it's the coolest and so unique and so beautiful, and highlights the autumnal equinox quite well, which is what happens towards the end of September.
Right. And then, you know, look at that, you know, a pumpkin candy skull. I mean,
if only I could make one of those in real life. Come on now, that is so cool. It's literally in a pumpkin. It's all one thing.
No, one of my favorites is Christmas.
Oh.
And this dude,
Santa skull,
is too cool. I mean, oh my God. I mean,
right?
You know, look at that.
Him and his glossy beard, Mr. Santa skull.
Now, these images we have put up on Patreon, which is, really cool. Now, you can buy these images individually and download them full res. And, you know, and I've also made it available for you to download all 12 all together. You know what I mean? And, you know, so you can go to our Patreon. You don't have to be a paid member. I've made this available to any free membership that gets onto our Patreon, and you can just, you know, buy the images, you know, straight up. But you can also become a supporting member of our Patreon, and receive these images, you know, monthly.
And then you can celebrate it with us. You can have the calendar at home, but you can also celebrate it on all your devices and kind of move along and put it wherever you want to see it.
Yeah, wherever you want to see it. You know, so yeah, you know, Patreon, you know, it's kind of weird. You know, I've heard about Patreon over the last few years and really didn't know much about it. And I think it was you mentioned it recently, and you know, I was like, you know, well, let me go check it out. And I went and checked it out, and I was super impressed. You know, Patreon is cool, man. I mean, this Patreon is a community of artists that have, you know, become very successable and being able to support their careers as artists, musicians, podcasters, and whatever their passion is. You know, and I think that's really cool. And Patreon gives you a platform in which, you know, you can do this. You can create a fan base and
share it with your community. I mean, Liam might already have one, and you can bring him on over and really connect and share some unique things that you might not be able to on other platforms.
And you know, and become a interactive part of SkullDirt, you know, and the skull community. I mean, there's a huge skull community on Patreon. I was checking it out, and I will be, you know, becoming a member of all those really cool skull artists on Patreon. And you know, it's really cool. But you know, some of the features that Patreon gives you, you know, is this the membership aspect of it. Where, you know, people can come in and become a member of your community and pay a monthly, small monthly or larger monthly, and get perks and get exclusive stuff. And speaking of that, you know, we're going to be offering some of our designs that just aren't going to go on our site,
that you're not going to see anywhere else,
and you're not going to see anywhere else, exclusively to our membership, to our Patreon.
And, yeah, maybe
members.
a bit of a stronger connection.
Yeah.
I mean, be able to communicate with the fan base that already exists, and, you know, grow more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even hear some suggestions. You know, have some conversations, and yeah, be able to share some unique, interesting art.
And as we pointed out in the past, you know, we're really in it for the long haul. You know, we
want this to be solid.
We want to be
from
able
the
to
Hart family business.
Go the distance, and you know, recently my wife has put together, you know, articles of agreement, and she has come up with a really great business plan to see where we want to go,
project us in
with
the future.
this, you know, and where we want to go with this is not just online, you know, and building the SkullDirt brand, but being able to take it to
pop-up
shops
markets
and
throughout the community.
You know, markets throughout the community, you know, and
bring along some of our best-selling products and be able to make it accessible to, you know, people that maybe haven't heard of it yet, and share it with as many people as possible.
Right.
You know,
right.
And yeah, put together a way we could do that, and this is square one.
Yeah. Now, we haven't done a YouTube video in a while. This video is for YouTube. Of course, it'll go up on other platforms and stuff. And, you know, it'd be great if we could be more consistent with videos and SkullDirt videos for YouTube. You know, I've been way more consistent with TikTok. You know, and TikTok, you know, it's Skull. You know, TikTok we're at SkullDirt brand, and Instagram we're at SkullDirt brand. Twitter, X, we're at SkullDirt brand. Now our Patreon page is patreon.com/SkullDirt. And super,
sweet,
you know,
simple.
super easy, short and sweet. You know, so that was really cool. You know, nobody else has tried to create a profile for SkullDirt on Patreon.
Thankfully.
You know, I haven't seen anybody like try and make SkullDirt a business or anything. But you know, when I first created a profile on TikTok, you know, just SkullDirt by itself was taken. So that's, you know, why we added brand to some of our social media platforms.
Well, and that's essentially what we are, for sure.
Yeah,
you know, we've claimed it. And it's our business.
I think on Pinterest, we're on Pinterest. I think on Pinterest, we're on Pinterest, and I think that's just SkullDirt. Pinterest.com/ or yeah, SkullDirt. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So
if you jump on Patreon, I think it'd be cool to say where you're coming from. Given, you know, all these platforms, we could see where we're pulling from and what communities we're connecting with, and I'm really excited to meet you guys and, you know, let you check out some of this really cool art and connect.
Yeah, and we're proud to be part of the Skull Nation and the Skull community, and you know, we just
excited to grow.
We just love skulls, man. You know,
sure.
I mean, our kids love skulls.
Yeah, it's
you
a family affair.
It's a family affair.
It's everywhere.
You know, so the passion is there, and you know, we really believe you know.
There.
We super believe in what we're doing, and you know, I've been playing around with these little skull necklaces, you know, creating our own little skull stuff, and
dragons on there as well. Incorporate some of our sci-fi love.
Yeah, I did.
You know?
We just started creating some skull dragons, you know, and they're dragons that are somewhat skull-like, you know, and you know, to kind of
got a dragon skull right over there,
to do some kind of fantasy type artwork, you know, to go with, you know, some of the themes that we've been doing, and
it's one of our loves.
Yeah, I've created a bunch.
Bring it on in.
I've created a bunch of really cool dragons.
Beautiful.
And you know, not all those dragons are going to make it to our shop, you know, but some of those dragons I want to
We'll
make
be here.
I want to make available on Patreon, and you know, some of the artwork that we've created. But we've kind of gone really long. We're almost 30 minutes into this video. I think we should probably wrap it up and call it a day on this one. I hope to you know, have a chance to make more videos, and you know, and keep you guys, you know,
up to date.
And you know, much love to all the people that have come along on the journey and followed us on TikTok and Instagram
so
and Facebook. And you know,
we
just launched Patreon, so the only member we have there right now is number one member. She was the first. You know, we just launched it yesterday, or day before yesterday. You know, and we haven't really done a lot to promote it. So this is really the first promotional video that we put out to promote our Patreon page. And I will probably put this video up on Patreon as you know, kind of an introduction to SkullDirt and us.
So so welcome.
So welcome to Patreon, and welcome to SkullDirt.com and SkullDirt community and Skull Nation. And we love you guys, and
much love.
We'll see you guys later, and always congratulations to another day above ground, and you know, and the urban lifestyle. Bye now.